What's up, you guys? It's Simone, aka Money Mo here, and we are here. We're live. This is not recorded. We are live, and we are back with another Money Mo Media. Okay,
Get to that.
what first live is crazy. It's crazy, but I'm here ready to give y'all this insight on this WNBA semis. Okay, and we got the top four teams in it. We have the number one Las Vegas Aces versus the number four Dallas Wings. And then we have the number two New York Liberty versus the number three Connecticut Sun. And yeah, it's getting real. It's getting close. The last four teams. Shoot. Now instead of winning two games, teams have to win three games to get to the finals, you guys. And I got a nice little rundown for y'all that we're gonna go through. But before we get to that, shout out to Satu Sabli for Most Improved Player of the Year. She deserved that. Shout out to Asia Wilson for winning Defensive Player of the Year again. Again. And then shout out to the.
You kind of called some of these though, right? Didn't you
Oh,
call
I
some
sure
teams?
did. I called Satu for player for Most Improved Player, and I called out six Woman of the Year, Alicia Clark. I was right on those two. I thought Defensive Player of the Year would have went to like Sykes or Jordan Canada.
Right, like I had some two as an MVP, so I was a
Oh,
little off.
oh my God, you a little off. It's okay. It's okay. you get an A for effort on that one. I'm not mad at you, but
So what's the last couple predictions? Right, I think we just got a MVP left, right?
yeah, we have MVP left. Honestly, I think it's going to be super close. At is creeping up. At Alyssa Thomas from the Connecticut Sun is creeping up, but mainly it's been between Breonna Stewart and Asia Wilson. Honestly, I think it's going to be leaning more towards Breonna Stewart just because if you look at the team situation, the Liberty beat the Aces in the regular season series. They beat them in the Commissioner's Cup game, and also looking at the Liberty, they beat the Suns. They beat the Sun four times in the regular season. So
Right.
I think that would be like the difference when you get like stuff like that involved because all these three players are really talented. They're really
Some ballers.
talented.
So there's some good ballers in there.
Oh yeah, it's really hard. Like I wouldn't want to be the commissioner or on that panel because it's so hard right now. Like but that's why these games are very important. Like their numbers need to be consistent, or they need to increase, and they have to do things that made them valuable to begin with, or even just raise the
Hey,
stakes.
so it's not a regular season award.
It is, but it's kind of like I don't know exactly when are they picking that, but
Hmm.
I'm just kind of thinking like what's taking them so long to pick it.
Right. I mean, I almost think they want to maybe give it out like right before the championship, maybe build some momentum.
Oh, they building it. I feel like it's nail biting for the W right now. Is really nail biting. I feel like Connecticut's pretty confident in who their MVP is. The Liberty's pretty confident in who their MVP is, and so is the Aces. I think
Right.
it's really the race for those three. Like Dallas, we could remember in the beginning I was like Erika Gumawale, but yeah, like in that class with those three, it's gonna be kind of hard. But I'm not down to her game or nothing. Her game is top tier, but these three are in a race of their own. But Erika Gumawale gonna be in that topic. I think next season or the season after that for sure. But
She's on my ballot.
okay, okay, I'm talking to GM Flicks right now. Okay.
What you think about the first round of the playoffs before we get into round two?
Uh,
Some falling
the
stars.
first round was kind of like okay, we knew the Aces was going to sweep. The one thing that kind of shocked me was what shocked me for real, the the Connecticut and Minnesota series. Minnesota fought hard and Connecticut won in overtime by 5. Minnesota played their asses off, and kudos to them. Y'all started 0-6. Y'all wasn't even supposed to be in the postseason, but y'all made it into the postseason, and you guys gave it y'all all. Like shout out to y'all. And then I'm not surprised that um Dallas swept Atlanta. I thought that would have been my wobbler series just because you have a 4 and a 5. I feel like in any situation where you have bracket play, your 4 and 5 is always going to be that series where it's like, okay,
Right.
like you don't know which way it could go because they're so close. They're matched up. They're 4 and 5, like, So I'm surprised that wasn't the wobbler. But really, the Connecticut and Minnesota was the wobbler because Minnesota almost knocked them.
Right. I mean, where does Atlanta go from here?
Um, Atlanta's doing good. Like they're building up. Like I felt like if they wouldn't have made the playoffs this season, then it would have had to been some changes in the front office. And I feel like they made some changes in the front office and in the coaching staff, so they're moving in the right direction. They're moving in the right direction. I feel like they just need to secure some good draft picks this upcoming draft. Um, I don't want to look into that right now because they haven't even started their college season yet. Like I don't even want to talk about the draft or nothing until maybe January or February because all this stuff right now is based off old numbers, old news, and it's like you can't base it off that. Like the game's evolving, these players evolve, injuries happen, things happen. So I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those sports people. So y'all could talk to me about that in like January, February. But right now I'm focused on the right now.
All right, so going in round two semifinals, what we got, man? We got the Aces in Dallas,
Yeah.
and we got the Liberty and the Connecticut side.
Yeah. So I'm about to break down this Aces versus Wings. So like I'm breaking this down a little different because I want you guys to kind of get where I'm coming from with this. Okay. So I have a word for the Aces. The word for the Aces is to finish. The Aces need to finish where they finish how they started off this season. They started off strong. They started off on top, number one. They need to finish and show that they're number one, right? So they just need to keep dominating on both ends. They need to keep dominating the boards, keep dominating on defense. And those scores, all those scores they have need to be aggressive. The bench needs to be aggressive, and those shot blockers need to keep that defensive presence, right? Because when you have shot blockers, it makes your guards defense a little better as well because as a guard I could play up, right? And I could play up just because if this player goes by me, I have a shot blocker right there that's going to mess up the shot, and all I got to do is really just box out and then we secure the rebound, okay? So honestly, the Aces are good where they at. They just got to keep it up. They got to finish. But for Dallas, they need to be efficient. Their word is efficient. They need to be efficient. They need to be efficient. They beaten the Aces before in the regular season, but right now it's not the regular season. It's the postseason. So they need to keep running those sets where they're spreading that team out. Have Arika Gumawale going off some high screen and roll. I would like to see some high screen and roll with her and Satu. Like I like their 2-man game. Or even with Howard. I like Natasha Howard too. Like they just have to be efficient in a way to where like they need to try to win the rebounding game. They need to try to win the rebounding game with this team. And they need to limit the Aces to one shot. Aces are really good at executing their offense. And if they miss the shot, they rebound and put it back. Or they could kick it out and reset their offense. So they need to limit them to one shot to eliminate the extra point opportunities or just eliminate the idea of them clearing the ball out and running their set again. And then they need big games from Natasha Howard, Dangerfield, and their center Tierra McCowan. They need big games for them. Big games. Just because the Aces has size. And a lot of teams that the Aces have faced have been really, really small. Really small. And like they're one of the teams with like a pretty solid post presence. So they need big games from those posts. Need big games in order to win. In order to win, like that's all. That's all. And Satu needs to just be Satu. I don't know who they would put on Satu, but whoever is on her, she needs to be aggressive and try to drive to the basket. And I'm thinking of the lineup. They might have. I wouldn't put Wilson on her. I don't know. It just depends on how they'll match up on them. But Satu needs to just be aggressive off the gate. Erika Gunwale, the same thing. Like, I feel like if she has, like, a plum on her, which is, like, they're similar in size, she will be able to like take advantage and attack the basket more. Don't get me wrong, Kelsey Plum is good on D, but if you look at that starting five, she's not the best defender out that five. So I would try to take it to her and kind of get her in early foul trouble and make Becky Hammon go to that bench. But when you look at the Aces, their bench is really dominant too. So I feel like they just need to play an all-out game, play them straight up, win the rebound game, and I feel like that's going to determine a lot. The rebounds and free throws that game. That series, rebounds and free throws. That's going to be a series between rebounds and free throws. Final answer.
That's a big matchup. You think about the Aces getting over that hump. You think the Aces can get over that hump?
Yeah, they did it all season. I know the Wings got them one time, and I didn't really look at those stats, but shoot, it's hard going undefeated in any season. Like you're gonna win, you're gonna lose some games. So it's all about adjusting. Postseason is all about adjusting. I feel like they adjust pretty quickly, and that's why they don't have that many like losses this season. Like that coaching staff over there just knows what to do. They have a good batch of players over there. So I think the Aces are really good at adjusting. Because you got scoring power. You got Chelsea Gray. You got Kelsey Plum. You got Jackie Young. You got Asia Wilson. You got Alicia Clark coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people. You got pieces. It's just, like I said, their word is finishing. They have to finish. But Dallas isn't just going to fold. And Dallas needs to be efficient in order for them to win this series. I think this series might go to 4 games. I'm not going to say the winner or the loser, but I think it's going to go to 4 games.
So then remind me too, round 2 of the W playoffs. What's the series? Series of 5 or what is it?
Series of 5. So they have to win 3 games.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So the first series is only 3 games.
No, the first series is only 3 games. We have to win 2. Then these next series is going to be 3 or 5.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's tough, man. Wings might be able to do it. They got some firepower, but the Aces definitely have to be the favorites.
Yeah, they're for sure the favorites. You got to look at I feel like when you look at favorites, you look at the record, you look at the stats, right? So you see the Aces, they have multiple players that score double digits consistently. They have players that play defense. They have it all. Like they're really one of the complete teams in the W. I feel like there's only 2 really complete teams in the W, and that's the Aces and the Liberty. And speaking of that, let's get into the preview for the Suns versus the Liberty, because I think that's going to be a really good series. I have a strong feeling. Something is telling me that this series is going to go to all 5 games. I just have a feeling. That's just me. But looking back at the regular season, the Sun lost to the Liberty 4 times. They didn't win a regular game matchup. But so my word for the Sun, I don't even have a word, I have a phrase. Their phrase is new season. Sun needs to come out with this mentality of 0-0. Like, forget that you guys lost to them 4 times in the regular season. It's not the regular season right now. It is the postseason. The postseason is more of like a chess match to where, like, you have to take advantage of what your team could do, expose what the other team can do, and find a way to win. And I think they have the pieces. They may not have the size as Liberty, but they have certain pieces to where it's like, okay, like I could do this. And with Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner, the way they're playing, I think I could see them beating the Liberty. I could see this going to 5 games. Do I know which way it'll go? I don't want to say. I don't want to say. But that's going to be a really good series. And so for the Sun, they need big games from, like I said, Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner, and Hayes need to step it up too. Like, Hayes has been doing really good. She made a couple of big shots during the series against Minnesota, and just really their guards have to step it up too. I realize that they're sort of guard heavy, especially with Jones out. With that post presence out, they're really guard heavy. But the one thing about them being guard heavy, that their defense is insane. Like when they play defense, especially if it's like a screen, they trap. You don't see that many teams trapping off screens. which is showing that they're, for one, pretty confident in their defense, and number two, the team defense is excellent. Like, if you're trapping on that screen, that person could come up and be ready for that steal. Like, they play to get steals. That's why Alyssa Thomas gets so many steals. They play to get steals, and their transition game is crazy too. Because when Alyssa Thomas gets the ball, rebound, she's going downhill, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's real scary. It's real scary. And you got DeWanna Bonner who's shooting really well right now. You got Hayes that could do a little bit of everything. She could do a little bit of everything for me. So they just have to step it up. They just have to step it up, and they gotta kind of get themselves together, because I don't even think Jones is playing this series. But if she is, that'll be good because they need her back. They need her back.
It's a big series. So who on the Sun has to step up for them to beat the Liberty? Because Liberty are loaded.
All of them. I noticed looking at the Sun this season, the way they play, it's not just one person that got to step it up. They play more team style of basketball, right? To where, like, everybody has to bring something to the table in order for them to win. They don't just rely on Thomas or Bonner. They all do something to make them win. It was never like the Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner show. Maybe just because they're padding the stats. It looks like they're padding stats, but they all do something for them to win, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's one of the more complete teams, as far as, like, you can't just say this person needs to step up. Like, they all as a collective needs to step up. Yep. Yeah, but for the Liberty, their word is work. They gotta work. They have to work. They cannot just be relaxed just because they beat this team 4 times in the regular season. This is a whole different season. Like, the Sun forgot all about that. They're coming for one goal, like, to win a championship. They want to win a championship, just like the Liberty. Like, they have a really good coach. They have a really, really good personnel, like, as far as the roster. Like, Breanna Stewart has been stellar all season. Okay? Sabrina Ionescu been shooting the lights out. And then you got Lainey, who just does a little bit of everything. For me, that's their little spark plug. She's like that X factor, right? Because she could do a little bit of everything. She could shoot. She could drive. She plays defense. She gets down and dirty and gets rebounds. She gets on loose balls. She's like, that's their workhorse player. And then you got Jonquel Jones, who is a really polished big, and she can stretch the floor too. They have pieces. It's not like one of those things where like the Liberty is just like, they're just second best to the Aces. It's like, no. Like, they could do something too. I just feel like a lot of those losses they had, they gave the game away. They gave the game away. It was never they got outworked or outplayed. It was just certain possessions where, like, they lost the momentum. So that's why, like, their word is work, because they have to work to keep the momentum. And then when you got to keep it for as long as you can, because we all know basketball is a game of runs. And you want to capitalize on your run. So when the time that other team gets a run, you want to try to stop it and contain it. So, yeah, it's going to be some really exciting series. I just need y'all to tune in and watch this good basketball. Like, it's going to be some good basketball.
They're going to be hooping.
Yeah.
Predictions for the finals. Who do you think will make it through?
Why you do that to me?
Come on.
Okay. I think it's going to be the Aces and the Suns in the finals. Mic drop.
Aces and the Suns.
Mic drop.
Wow. So you think the Suns will beat the Liberty?
That one's going to go to 5.
But you think the Aces will beat
in 4.
The Wings?
Wings going to get 1. The Wings are going to get 1.
That makes me mad.
Why?
I mean, why would Arika Gumawale's season end like that? Like, you know what I mean? It's an MVP caliber season.
You got to look at the matchup. Look at the matchups. I want you to, when we get off this, I want you to look at them rosters and you pull them side by side and you tell me, can they go toe to toe? Arika Gumawale can put the team on her back, but in the postseason, the more complete teams make it far for that reason because you don't have all that pressure of putting the team on your back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just looking at my breakdown and just from what I seen this season, right? And what I seen this season is that they can do it, but the other players have to step up, and I feel like they haven't been stepping up like consistently. Satu, Arika and Satu been really doing it. You had Howard for a little bit too. Howard would need to step it up more in that series. And I feel like I kind of discussed that in a little bit, but yeah, I think it is going to be the Aces and the Sun in the final. That's what I think. I think it's going to be a repeat of the last final, one where Kurt Miller was coaching before he went to the Sparks. Yeah.
Right. Tough. Tough.
Yep.
Good to think about, though. Man. So any other hot takes you got? I mean, you've been pretty hot, so.
Man,
I mean, you've been hitting all the awards.
man, I just want to brag and just say, like I told y'all, I'm not, what you say? I'm not new to this, but I'm true to this. Repeat with me. I am not new to this. I am true to this. Okay? I just want y'all to watch these games because the W's been doing numbers. The W's been doing numbers. Like, I wish I would have put them numbers up there, but y'all just make sure y'all watch some good basketball. Watch these watch my videos, man. Come on, like I be really talking that stuff. Like if you really want to see all the stuff I was talking about, it's in the videos. Like what did I say? I could swear to God, all the teams that I talked about episode 1 made the playoffs. The Sparks was the only ones that disappointed me. I thought they would have made the playoffs. They was really supposed to be in Minnesota spot.
Tough.
They were supposed to be in Minnesota spot, but imagine if the Sparks would have swept Minnesota. They would have been in that spot. They would have been in the playoffs. I was right on everything else but that. Like I said, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And then make sure y'all tap in and y'all subscribe to the channel, like all the videos. Shout out to Flicks because he be holding it down with the HBCU stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, just tap in with the team. Watch the content. We giving y'all some fire content. And yeah, maybe we'll have a watch party for the finals.
All right, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Game of the week, man.
Y'all just gotta let us know. Tap in.